What do you say, Mark? Did you expect to actually see the note in time for your show?
Wait, what note? What are you talking about?
The changelog note. What? You didn't?
I mean, I expect the best from this show. I expect the
Okay.
production to be perfect every time. Everything
Okay.
goes as planned. So yeah.
Okay. Awesome. How you doing, man?
Doing good. I woke up. I woke up way too early. And I'm now just hitting like afternoon time here.
Okay.
So I'm like,
what's early for
perfect.
you?
I'm sorry.
What's early for you?
It was like 5 in the morning.
Oh my God, early.
Yeah, I was wondering, should I like lie? Should I say a time that's even earlier to impress everyone?
No, it's 5.
Early. It's 5 good enough to
5
to
is
feel.
wow. I mean,
so anyway, it's good timing now. So I'm my lowest energy point of the day. Time to be here.
Time to be here. Exactly. This is how we like you. It's a low energy mom.
Although you've seen me other times a day, it's not that much different. It's basically.
Yeah, I wouldn't say you're.
I'm not jumping off the walls usually.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm good. Excited to talk about the changes.
Yeah, me too. So the changelog. Let's hear it. Let's put this on stage. Get this off here. So what do we have? What do you have for us, Mark? What does the community have for us?
Well, last 2 weeks we're a little calm, a little calmer than usual, but we still got some cool stuff to show. A lot of breaking. I mean, so we went from 54 to 57.
Wow.
On the minor slot, which, in case anyone doesn't know, that's used for our breaking changes currently because we're on 0 major version.
Right.
The breaking changes are not a big deal. I think the only one that's probably even relevant at all is I think we changed it so that you can't define interfaces at the top level. I didn't even put it in this list because it's really not even interesting enough to mention.
You can only define interfaces on top level. Is that what it is?
Yes, I may have said the opposite. My bad. But yeah, you can only define interfaces at the top. I think that's the change. I don't know, but we have some cool stuff. Cool stuff to show.
Cool stuff. Okay, some controversial stuff maybe. I don't know. Let's see.
Oh shoot, is there? I don't know.
I don't know.
All right. So first up, we have a new CLI subcommand called new, or the new subcommand. So this bootstraps a little project for you. I think right now we have 2 templates, just like an empty project with just like a file that kind of just has like maybe just like a hello world in it, and then a more complicated like an HTTP API using the cloud.api.
Right. Right.
So I think there's really not a lot you need to start a Wing project, but it's not like it's 0. You need a file. So like, at the bare minimum, you need a file, and sometimes you might need more dependencies installed and package JSON and such. So having this in place, I think adds a new contribution point, a new place to kind of flex, how easy it is to get started with certain things. This picture also kind of has a teaser for the ability to like do Wing New with other languages.
What's that? What's that all about?
I mean, next Wingly, I swear, I'll talk about TypeScript.
Awesome.
The Wing TypeScript. But for now, just still a teaser. But yeah, that's Chris added this lovely new subcommand.
So Chris saying maybe we should call this minimal rather than empty.
Maybe a minimal sounds so. What's the term for like it's like putting it down. It's like putting it down.
It's hello world. Let's just say. I mean, when you click it, it's not empty. It's not minimal. It's hello world.
I guess that's true. It is wrong. It's not. I guess we could call it hello world.
Maybe. Why not?
I don't know. Or
hello
actually, no. Now I'm liking minimal more that we're talking about it.
Okay.
That's pretty good. It is a long word though.
Minimal is a long word. Okay.
Blank.
That's
still wrong though. It's not blank. It has something. A blank Wing project is an empty folder. Just to be clear, there's no such thing as a.
There's no main W. It's not an empty main W.
You could have an empty. I guess that's true. I guess you could have an empty main W.
Maybe we should have 2 options: empty and blank. Just get people
empty confused. And empty plus.
Yeah. Confused when they do in the Wing New.
All right. So that's that command.
Thank you for this. And
Thank
is
you.
that,
And next up we have um,
oh,
try to
good.
set. No, yeah, this wasn't a break and change or anything. So this was um, when you can now use this at like the top level or at not even at the top.
Oh,
You can use it anywhere outside of a class inside of an entry point file. Um, so
hmm.
this this is sound because when you in the entry point file technically is part of a it is
And
part like
it's basically
your
up
entire
file,
application
right?
is a resource and
Right,
like at the top level there is a resource there.
right,
There's a construct specifically. So uh, being able to reference it has some uses. I tried to make a minimal example, although I realized that there's some kind of rough edges that make this minimal example a little big. But um, this is like if what if you want to attach a resource to like the top level of your tree as like a
right,
singleton?
right,
Um, it's kind of hard to do that from within a static method because we don't have a way to access
right.
like
Yeah,
the root. You get what I'm saying? Like in this
yeah,
example here, I forgot I have my mouse. Being able to like like when you don't have an existing construct available, like to kind of hook into the tree, the resource tree. That's what this gives you.
this,
Um,
this. Yeah.
so
Does the,
yeah,
does this have any method?
yeah.
Does the other,
The type of this
yeah,
is a construct.
okay.
Which is
It's
part of
very,
the weak.
yeah,
So constructs are it's kind of weird because constructs are not super exposed all the
right.
time
I
in
haven't
Wing,
seen, I think
but
it's the
it's
first
there. I
time I'm
mean,
seeing it, right?
it's always there. Like you can use when you do in, for example, like you can put a construct there. Actually,
Right,
you have to put a construct there, I
right,
believe.
right.
So that's why this example got kind of interesting.
So,
Um,
so is a construct kind of a pre-flight inf class, or any pre-flight class is a construct? Is that correct? I'm not sure. I didn't come from the CDK background, so
Yeah, well, the construct. So you're like so the pre-flight. The point of pre-flight is to build this application tree. That's one
right,
way we could talk about
right,
it. And a tree is made up of nodes.
right,
And I mean, kind of implied by this node of global that we have now, this
right,
gets you there's a class called a node,
right,
and that's useful on its own. But constructs are kind of I don't know. I think it's technically incorrect to do this, but I mean, node and construct can kind of they can go hand in hand. Like constructs have a node,
have a node.
but
Yeah,
the way I usually see it is the tree is actually made up of constructs. It's technically made up of nodes, but it's made
right,
up of constructs too.
right, right.
So that's so just think of it as the nodes of the tree.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because you have the construct, you have this as a construct, then every construct has a node, but the tree technically made of node or construct. Yeah, I understand the. It's kind of it's. I have to say, I am also it's also a little bit confusing. I'm just saying.
I think that's why we tend to try to hide it.
Yeah.
You know, we try to hide it as much as possible, but in this case, it is leaking through.
Okay.
Um,
Awesome. And that was Hassan contribution. Thank you, Hassan.
yes, thank you, Hassan, for that.
Yep.
So next up is
Oh,
I don't
okay.
have much on this slide to show,
You went
but
one slide.
no, I fixed it. I fixed it.
Okay.
This is the correct slide.
Okay.
So when we bundle, so okay, when you create an in-flight and you use it in a cloud
Oh,
function or some other places, it gets bundled during if it gets bundled either at runtime. So when you're running in the simulator, it gets bundled when you start running the simulator. Or if you're compiling to a target that needs those bundles immediately, like TFAW or any of the Terraform targets,
right.
then it gets bundled at compilation time.
Right.
That bundling was done with a WASM version of ESBuild.
Right.
This was useful initially because when we first added it because it kind of made the pre-flight execution fully cross-platform even in browsers,
Crazy.
which we did make use of in our initial version of the Playground
right.
site that existed.
Right.
We no longer use it that way. The Wing Playground is now run with FlyIO, the actual machines.
Right.
And we don't really have a use case for executing the pre-flight in the browser.
Yeah.
So we're kind of just hindering ourselves for not much benefit. I mean, of
Got
course, Wasm is also super. It's like ultra multi-platform,
right.
but ESBuild itself has publishes multiple platforms.
Right.
So the switch was done now that the native version of ESBuild is used, and as I point out here from the ESBuild docs, it's about 10 times, I'll say, faster to use the native version.
And do you actually feel it when you're compiling? I mean, 10 times, is this a large chunk of time spent?
Yeah, I think for any application that has cloud functions or cloud server or any bundling done, this bundling is the slowest part
Okay.
of the process.
Nice.
I mean, past having like more than a few of them, which most non-trivial applications will have more than a few.
Interesting.
So yeah, you feel it. You absolutely feel it. I think in our current benchmarks, which aren't very extensive, I think like an example with if you have like actually even if you just have one function, it seemed to increase it by 50%.
Oh, really?
The overall speed of compilation increased by 50%.
Nice.
So it's not 10x, but of course there's other stuff we're doing too that aren't changed by this process. It's worth noting that this applies to the simulator. Like I said, I didn't benchmark, but like the simulator will now also start faster because the bundling will happen faster. So
the runtime simulator will happen faster,
yes,
right? When you actually invoke the function, it will react faster.
Yeah. Right now the simulator, when it starts, it eagerly tries to bundle all the functions.
Okay.
And then if you click on it before it's done, it'll wait a little bit. Now with this being even faster, I doubt you'll notice that it's not done yet or something when you try to invoke it.
Great.
And also tests, simulator tests as well. I mean, everything's faster. That bundling is a pretty huge part of most workflows, I would say, in Wing. Testing and compilation with non-simulator targets. So,
and the handsome fellow who's done that feature is Mark. Thank you, Mark.
Thanks to me.
Yeah.
To be fair, this is a very small change. We probably should have done it sooner. I kind of feel bad that we didn't do it sooner because of how much of an improvement it was and how little effort it actually took to change. So,
nice.
There you go.
Is it fully compatible? The ESBuild Wasm version, was it just changing the executables? The library?
It was fully. There was one thing that was like it's almost not worth mentioning that there was a warning because of some dead code that we had.
Okay.
But so yes, the answer is it was fully compatible. Like I said, though, technically there are platforms that exist that ESBuild does not have binaries for. But I don't think I've heard any issues around users running it on their like. I can't even think of an example of like a
beside browser. Don't say browser.
Beside beside the browser. Okay. But no one's mentioned it, so it's not
Awesome. Great.
Anyway,
thank you, Mark.
So this is a pretty big one. That's
nice. Yeah.
So yeah, you can already. So multi-line strings have been a feature in Wing for ever. I don't know, since we added strings.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe not. Maybe I'm misspeaking, but they've been around for a while. However, they haven't worked correctly for a while. Also,
you're missing a semicolon here, by the way. It's not going to work. But
that's fair. My bad.
Yeah.
So this didn't. This would fail. This simple example would fail, not just because it doesn't have a semicolon, but because we just had some problems with escaping. Escapes in the string.
Right.
And it would work if you put like if it had any interpolation, which is why it snuck through in the first place. That it would work if you had an interpolation going on inside, but not if you don't, which is weird. That seems like it would be the harder case.
Interesting.
But that case actually worked fine.
Nice.
So now thanks to Mir, I don't know if I
Mail.
I'm not realizing I'm not sure. He's made contributions, I think, before. And he's also continuing to. He's had some really great compiler level contributions, which
and
I think we always do the extra shout out for.
Yeah, and he wrote the blog, and he wrote the. He created a nice. He wrote the blog that we talked a lot during our team time about. So he raised some concerns, and we talked about how can we face them, prioritize them. and he also created kind of a website, kind of a Winglib, not a Winglib actually, his own kind of version of kind of a web service for which is awesome. What was the name of the web service? I need to remind myself, but
Winglet.
Winglet, yeah. So
yeah, no, he's been doing a lot of great work. I definitely
Yeah.
appreciate how much effort he's put into Wing, and not only using it but also building it up.
Yeah.
You know, by improving the compiler and such.
Awesome.
Yeah,
that's great.
Next two are our good friends. Well, let's start with Gary, who added an implementation for the counter resource for TF Azure.
Do you have a clue what does he uses behind under the hood?
I don't. Hopefully, if Gary's here, he can let us know. But I don't actually know, so I won't even guess. I know so little about how Azure works. Maybe they have a counter. Maybe that's Microsoft Counter. They have their own. I don't know. I have no idea what it uses. But really appreciate improving the surface area of our cloud library implementation.
Awesome. So we have a counter in Azure. Thank you, Gary. That's great. That's just awesome.
And our other regular Marcio added Cloud API for the AWS CDK, which AWS CDK is definitely Marcio's baby in terms of like the platform.
Wow.
I wish I knew the number of like how much of that did he implement, like total, like the entire platform and all its resources. It's definitely something he's worked on a lot and made excellent.
This is nice. I have to say because I'm doing a lot of demos. I'm meeting a lot of potential customers, and the AWS CDK as a target is because of CloudFormation, because it's something that because of the CDK people are asking about this, and I kind of know what's the road that I can go through so I can demo a bucket and a cloud function, and I know I can demo an API gateway. But now I can demo an API gateway. That's awesome. So that's actually really helpful for me because people are really interested in this platform.
Yeah, I mean, it should you should always be able to use like the raw libraries for like the AWS-CDK-lib.
Of course.
So, but yeah, definitely, it's good to have the cloud library also working on it.
Right.
And you can even work with it. You can use the cloud library alongside these other like more specific libraries for platforms, just to use those great abstractions.
That's great.
And this happened last time. So I have one more slide. Remember this happened last time? Where I for some reason something I'm doing is eating up my last slide.
Okay.
Give me 1 second.
Same slide.
There we go. Okay. Oh. So this is one of those things where I was like, oh, I guess this didn't work already. Yeah, no, I really wanted this in the console. So
nice.
In the console, I think recently it was added that you can use like gestures, like 2 fingers or 3 fingers.
Oh, really?
You can do movement with gestures in the console.
I didn't know that.
And then shortly after that, I think Christian added this feature, being able to use the mouse, which I think the very first time I used the console, or at least closer to what it is today, I tried doing this and I was like, oh, well, it doesn't work. Okay, well, whatever. And I was like, but it was like one of the first things I tried to do. So it meant something to me that I tried to do it and then it didn't work. So I'm glad it works now.
Yeah, nice. Great job, Christian. Nice. I didn't know that.
And that is all.
That is all. Okay. Thank you, man. This is great. This is a great summary. Not a lot of breaking changes. I don't know what was the breaking changes. It's
well, one of them was the ES build thing. I technically marked it as a breaking change because technically it now stops some platforms from being used.
Okay. Yeah. I see.
We'll try to be. I mean, especially since we don't have a major version yet. I mean, breaking changes don't even mean that much. They're just kind of consider every change a breaking change if you're very concerned. But yeah, it's so we can sprinkle them in, and it's not really a huge deal. Like you're not seeing a version 1 to 2 like anytime soon.
Right.
So don't worry too much.
Don't worry about that. Awesome. Mark, thank you again for this very interesting and thorough walkthrough. So what was happening in the last 2 weeks in Winglang, and also thank you for your song contribution. So we're gonna hear a different a second part of Hobo Johnson's Subaru Cortex. Thank you, and I'll see you in 2 weeks, man. Bye.
Thank you. See you.